Oh, good, brother. What's happening? You?
Oh, dude, we've been talking about this for months, and the fact that it's actually here, like, I'm so excited, man.
I
How you
mean,
been?
football season happened. What'd you expect?
Oh my, of course. First of all, I was gonna start this show, Tiki. I was like, I got Tiki here. I can talk Jets with him. But you and Tierney over the last 2 days, you gave me the feel I needed, okay, when it came to Jets conversations. And the callers you guys had today, the anger was there. And I was like,
Oh man.
I believe the Jets talk alone tonight, all right?
Well, I obviously would rather talk Giants because we actually won this past
Yeah, you see, I was
weekend.
going to leave room for
But you're
that.
not wrong, bro. I mean, the energy is in the Jets, mainly because Robert Saleh is trying to toss it down and put the gauntlet out there already. I mean, I love it, but he didn't have to do that, man. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong quick, bro.
All right, so we'll talk about it real quick, all right? And
Yeah.
those in the chat, they're like, of course, Jigga starting off with Jets talk. But I understand if he was trying to motivate the guys, whatever, but this isn't the fan base to sit there and make ample threats. Like if we haven't been dealing with the pain our entire lives, okay? So I wasn't a big fan of it, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, you know what? If you're winning, you can do stuff like that. I mean, historically, if you
Right.
you know that the organization and the team and the coaches have a pedigree of winning, you can throw something like that out there. We talked about it with Jim Fossil. You remember when Jim Fossil did this in 2000, and he threw it out there, and we backed him up. But we knew we were a good team. We had to be a good team. We went to the Super Bowl that year, right? So we knew we could back him up. And Jim Fossil knew that if we didn't, he was going to get fired because we were a good team that wouldn't have been listening to him. With Robert Saleh, this Jet squad, they might not have a good team. So
yeah,
that's why I say he didn't have to do it.
Yeah, and do you think the team went in there and they were like, "Yo, coach, like." All we got is these fans. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, we can't handle losing and having nobody in the stands.
You know what the problem is? They're young. Like the team doesn't know it, and the guys that aren't young haven't been there long. So maybe they know New York a little bit. Maybe they've heard a little bit of the ire of New York fans when they get on you. And trust me, I know they get on you, and they don't let up. So, and the only way to get rid of that is to win. And if they're not going to win, and it better start this upcoming weekend, it's going to start getting louder and louder and louder and louder. You know what I mean?
You should at least wait until like week 5 when Zach was at least back, not throw this out and be like, oh, and we're going to start Flacco again, guys. I mean, nothing against Flacco, but the man looked like the Statue of Liberty back there, okay? He was just, oh, gosh.
They'll figure it out, I hope.
Yeah, you hope. You know what? Let's move over to your Giants, bro. What's up? Were you halfway through the game like ready to hate the coach, and then by the end of the game you fell in love with the coach? Because that's how Twitter looked pretty much the entire game.
I just wondered where Saquon was. So we did our show, our Tiki and Tierney show. Now that we're on WFAN, we can do this local stuff. So we went over to Giants training camp and we broadcast right there on the field. It was cool, and I got a chance because Coach Daboll asked me to come out and talk to the team. So I went out and hollered at him for a minute. But right after, I chatted with Saquon. He's like, Teak, I love this offense, man. I love how they're going to use me. I mean, so many different things, and the line is better. And then after our show, I got a chance to chat with Joe Shane. He said, nobody's going to talk about this, but our strength this season is Saquon Barkley and an offensive line, right? Because they got a couple of nasty dudes in there, right?
Right.
Feliciano's a little bit nasty. Evan Neal's a little bit nasty. Andrew Thomas played in the SEC. So they got a little bit of an edge to them. And when I watch, and I don't want to get too into the X's and O's, but in the details and get over people's heads, but when I watch and they're doing things like pulling a center and the guard front side, which creates a block down, a knockdown block, and then there's two big fatties pulling around in front of Saquon. That's what they used to do back in my era, right? I'd have O'Hara and Snee and Soybert and David Deal and these guys running out in front of me. I mean, it was easy, right? I haven't done that in a long time. So when I start seeing them make it easy for Saquon to go be a stud, that gets me excited.
Yeah, I mean, and seeing Saquon healthy is huge. I mean,
Yeah.
he looked so good this weekend. I mean, the
Oh, that's
legs
the biggest
returning.
thing. That's the
Yeah,
biggest thing. That's the biggest
and
thing. And because we know how talented he is.
right.
You know what the bigger thing was, though? Forgetting the health and everything else, the big plays. He's physical, man.
Yeah,
Like that 2-point conversion.
he wants
Like
it.
he just
He
said,
wants
"All
it.
right, you want some of this? Come get it."
Well,
And
at
he's
least one
bigger
of the
than
New York
everybody.
teams.
So, you know,
At least one New
for
York
the
team looked good. Jeez. Well, Tiki, before we jump into a lot of the Knights fantasy football stuff, which I'm super excited about, I want to give a shout out first to the Knights of Degen. I mean, putting this entire league together, the idea when it was just thought about with everybody just, 8 months ago, when this is how we want to do it. There was this little vision that all of a sudden turned into 240 Knights in the community that all registered for this thing. I mean, I think the goal was like 90, right? Everyone's like, yeah, we get 90, we're good. And we end up with 240. So shout out to the Knights of Degen, shout out to the community, and a big shout out to Sir Joe Candy. This man has had every task of making sure every division, every commissioner, everybody's set up. So Joe, not only do you kill it with poker, what you've done for the KFFL, I gotta tell you, bro, how you doing?
That's
all right,
right.
it's
and that's
fantastic.
The Degen family is awesome. They've been awesome from jump, man. Everything that we've done, they've got behind. Whether it's fan control football stuff or whatever, just chat.
Or me wearing a wig and a crown on a Wednesday night, and they show up to watch. Like that is some true support from the community, man.
I hear you, man. And look, it is not easy to put all these leagues together. It is not.
No, right? And he's got 21, 22. That's crazy.
Hats off. I'm just pissed off that me and my brother, because I twin with my brother.
Oh, we're gonna jump into
7 points and didn't even get close, dude.
Oh, Tiki. I'm glad you brought it up because you know what? Let's start off first before we break down your team. I want to show people, here's the top 10 based on sleeper stats of who the top performers were this week. You had Jefferson, you had Patty, you had Josh Allen, Saquon, obviously we're talking about that, Cooper Kupp, Wentz, Adams, Chase, Taylor, Pittman, and Swift. Did you grab any of these guys on your team?
Yes, Patty Mahomes, and we kind of stole them. Look, it's an auction draft, so it's a little bit rough. Quarterbacks go late, and sometimes you can steal them if someone's overspent on whoever. Jonathan Taylor, whoever it may be. And so we felt like we stole Patty Mahomes, and we get him. He scores 37 points, 37.49 to be exact. And I mean, Kyler Murray, who we were playing against, who's not on that list, but he had an average day, 21.3 points. But everybody else, Antonio Gibson, who the hell saw him scoring 20 points? Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he had 22. Justin Jefferson, who was top of that list, he beasted us out. Stephon Diggs. I mean, I was like, I don't even know who this is, but he stole all these people. There's no way he had enough money to have all these guys that scored all these points in week one.
Yeah, it was a weird week, especially when I broke down your team. And I'll pull it up, obviously, so everybody in the chat can see it. Yep. So real quick before we jump into it, yes, everybody in the chat, we are live. We're seeing are they looking at the chat? Yes, every one of you. Hello, how you doing? You know what? My mom calls me every single day, Tiki.
Yeah.
I talk to my mother every day. Okay. I do about 9 shows a week at this point. Okay. She's too busy most of the time for the shows, but my mother makes sure to show up when Tiki Barber's on the show.
Hey.
All right? Mom and my dad is in there. They're all freaking Giants fans. They still don't understand, Tiki, how I became a Jets fan when all they did was love the Giants, Tiki Barber. Like, I mean, all right. So yes, everybody, this is live. What up, Pizza? What up, Frigoff Ghost? P-Mix is in there. Coda, Dylan, cheese, everybody. Let's break down Team Barber. We got Patty Mahomes. You got Nick Chubb.
Who's
Harris. Mike Evans. You got Robinson, Jerry Jeudy. You got Knox. He let both of us down this week. Knox.
Really
that was really bad.
One catch.
Yeah, it was garbage. You got Waller and you got the Tampa D.
Yes.
Like, looking at your squad, you're like, okay, this is Rondé and Tiki right here. This is solid. Right. You should pull off a win.
You can't help it in this game. That's the problem, right? You know what the issue is? There's no real physicality. right? If this was me out on the field and it was tight, like it was getting in this weekend, I would have just given a little extra oomph, a little extra something. But since I have no control, all I could do is sit and watch and hope that Jerry Jeudy has a big day. He had a pretty big day. He had 20 points, right?
Yeah.
It was nowhere near close enough. Pat Mahomes threw 5 touchdowns, dude. And it was nowhere near close enough.
Yeah, and Tampa did decent.
Oh,
I mean, they crushed it.
They gave up 3 points on the first possession, and that was it. That was it.
Did Waller let you down? I didn't even see what Waller pulled off.
Yeah, Waller was all right. He was 11.9, but it's like,
well, it's better than the Knox.
The Raiders are interesting because some weeks they're going to be explosive. Other weeks are just going to be very average. We've seen that for the last 3 years. Maybe Josh McDaniels changes that out in Las Vegas, but they're going to be up and down. They always are. And Darren Waller, as great as he is, he gets ignored sometimes. I remember in those John Gruden, offenses, they used to use him everywhere. Sometimes he would line up at the tight end, and then they would in the middle of the play just make him the X wide receiver to create a mismatch. But you got to be intentional about exploiting those mismatches. And Josh McDaniels, he just wants the crossers. He wants the easy catch.
Yeah, and I mean, you just gave this. You gave him a
you're right.
He's
not utilizing him the right way yet
at all.
Not yet. Maybe he will, but not yet.
Yeah, because I mean, they gave him big money. They gave him the extension. Like, he's a stud of a weapon.
Yeah, the biggest disappointment was Robinson. It was Allen Robinson.
Everybody thought so.
And we know who that was. That was Stafford. That was a miscalculation on our part because I just assumed Matt Stafford had some kind of issue with his elbow. It was going to be fine once game day started, but he showed the rust of not doing jack in the offseason because he couldn't find him, and he has no relationship with Robinson because he was in Chicago for so long. Now he's back, and without Odell Beckham, and they had another injury as well. I was like, dude, Robinson's going to get tons of burn. He's going to get tons of touches. He only had 2 catches, I think. No, four catches, but just not a ton of impact. No touchdowns, no big plays. You got to break 100 yards, in these leagues in order to make anything worthwhile from a receiver standpoint or score a touchdown. And he couldn't get that done
at all. So Tiki,
Pete Mix is up here talking trash already.
Oh, hold on. Where we at? Where's Pete Mix?
Come on.
Oh man, he's coming at it early. Pete Mix dropping the hammer.
See, okay. I'm gonna go check out his squad real quick.
Well, you know what? That leads me into this first segment we're gonna pull off here on the show.
Okay.
And this one is called "Did You Get 'Em?" Each week, the co-host is gonna change, right?
Yep.
This week is you. And unfortunately, Tiki, you lost. You lost. And we had to bring Edge on to celebrate Edge. What's up, man?
That guy.
Hey.
He's at the game.
Hey, guy. How you doing?
Oh, dude. Wait, you at the Yankees game?
No, I'm at the St. Louis Cardinals game, actually.
Oh, you're in St. Louis.
Yeah.
I guess you just want to make sure you had your moment here to take it.
You just wanted to come talk trash? I guess I got to listen.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to be too hard on you. I mean, I thought you drafted a pretty good squad, had some bad luck, things go wrong, but you'll be all right. I think you'll bounce back.
I better. That's what we do. We're resilient. That's Barber.
I mean, you get knocked down, you pick yourself right back up. It's not so much what happens to you. It's how you respond to it. So,
you got me doing some Hercules mulling.
So, Edge, do you feel like you took down? Do you feel like you took down 2 barbers, bro? Like you got 2 brothers for the price of 1. I mean, that's kind of big.
I mean, I was thinking about just shutting it down for the rest of the year and calling it good. But I just gotta thank my family and everybody for supporting me along the way and kind of bringing me to this point.
Just don't give us the hey
Got
mom.
A good game going on tonight here, by the way.
Yeah, who we got? Who's out there? I don't know who's playing.
We got the Cardinals versus Brewers.
Brewers, got it.
Nice.
Got it.
Well, enjoy the game.
The Brewers winning the MVP this year for sure, right?
Oh yeah, Goldberg's the guy. Yeah, he's the guy. So we're trying to see Albert set some more records up to 700. Here he comes.
He's not hitting
right
3
now.
home
He's right
runs
here.
tonight, kid. He's not hitting 3 home runs tonight.
No, not tonight.
I'm coming again tomorrow. So we'll
Oh, dude, all right. Good.
We'll see Wayno and Yachty set the record for most battery mates all time tomorrow, and it'll be a good time. So,
That's
guys,
cool.
have fun. Tiki, sorry about it. We'll see you later.
Respect.
Hey, bro.
All good.
I mean, we had to do it, Tiki. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm sure you'll never want to do a show with me again.
You're
but
dirty,
we got to.
I thought I liked you, bro. I thought I liked you. I thought we were tight.
I already texted you and apologized. While Edge was talking, I'm so sorry. Guys, you saw what Did You Get Him is. So when we announce who the co-host is, you'll have your chance. Can you beat the co-hosts? Can you beat them? And if you do, you're able to come on and talk your talk. All right?
I will do it because that will happen. Our team is good. We just had a bad week.
And
for all those people who want to jump off the bandwagon, I'm taking receipts. Right? When we get right.
Whoa. Your solid showing. Oh, thanks, Sir Pizza. Jigga is a jerk. And that, you know what? People turn on me so quick. That's horrible.
That's because Pizza must do, man. That's my bro. That's my real fan right there.
And Pizza, you lost this weekend? Just curious, Pizza. Just want to know.
Did he?
All right. I don't know. I just figured I could talk crap right now. All right. So let's jump into some more of the recap of the KFFL.
Mm-hmm.
I want to jump into, you know what? Let's do top performers.
Is this original hooks you got going?
You like that, right? See, what happens is I get lost, right, in the beats. And I'm like, just make the graphic. And then like 30, 45, an hour later, I'm like, still listening to the music. You got to stop. Get to the graphic.
I appreciate it.
So let's do this. We're going to first start off with the biggest spanking of the week.
Yeah, let me break this down.
Spanking.
Let me break this down.
Take it, Tiki.
Dr. Money Love. Whoa. Ow. Is right. Dude, Dennis. Dennis. Did you even try? Did you get off the bus?
Can someone check if he didn't put people in his roster? This is the two teams that went up against each other.
Oh, I see. See, here's what happens. Sometimes you want to double up because you think you're going to be slick, right? I'm going to get Dak, right? I'm forgetting Dak is playing against the number one defense in football coming in. I'm forgetting this. So I'm going to double up with Dak and CD. All CD saw was CDs, right? CD went nowhere.
Nowhere. Nothing.
And that just crushes you, right? When your quarterback gives you nothing and then your top receiver also gives you nothing, you are stuck.
And me as a Jets fan, Elijah Moore, yes, I'd love to have him on my team as well, but I'm not looking to start an Elijah Moore or any of them till week 4 or 5 when Zach's back and people show me that they can pass the ball.
Yeah, you're right. 100%. I mean, I understand it because you feel like they're going to be wide open. They're going to be behind. They're going to be running, hurry up 2-minute offense that whole time. But you're right. That was a spanking.
Yeah, it was. You earned your ouch.
Yes.
Dennis Reynolds, we're sorry, bro. Dr. Moneyline, how you doing, bro? That was ridiculous. I mean, when I was looking at the stats, I mean, there were some other ones that were, good beatings, but nothing in the ballpark of. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even have that segment planned, Tiki, till I saw that score. I created that segment today. I was like, all right, that's a spanking. Like, we have to highlight that.
I mean, sometimes you got to get embarrassed. Sometimes when you're embarrassed, you got to just acknowledge it. Just accept it. Right.
It's fantasy football. You move on to next week and you try again. And if you're anything like me, you make all the wrong waiver moves. Yeah.
There's a lot of weeks left.
How about some of our top scores?
Yeah, let me see.
In third place, 171.6, JTPCC.ETH. 173, Sir Jack of Clemson.
All right.
So fancy. And number 1. So you know what?
Let me see that squad. You got that squad?
Let me do this real quick.
Okay.
Let's take it over to our reporter real quick. Week 1 of the KFFL, and it couldn't be any better. Guys, we told you each week the top performer, the guy who put up the most points in the league, gets himself $300. How you doing? This is your boy, reporter, JiggaMan Porto from the Metaverse, and I'm excited to announce Mr. Alex Tom. Go ahead, buddy. Congratulations on your $300. You got anything to say?
What's good, JiggaMan? Of course I won this week. My strategy was pretty simple. It was the Chiefs, basically the Chiefs team. It was like the Chiefs mad strategy, which I made up on the spot. And what that was is that the Chiefs were mad from last year. Mahomes was going to come back fully healthy with Juju, Kelsey, Allaire with like less pressure. Then I basically stacked up on that team. I also had Michael Thomas, Mike Evans, Miles Sanders, the Bills. I think I had the Bills. I'm not sure. Do we have defenses? Anyway, the point of the matter is I went with a Chiefs angry strategy, and that proved to be the winner. So thanks for playing, everybody.
I mean, first of all, he of course he had to throw up the goblin behind him. He said, let me throw a little goblin love here. But, I mean, he literally spanked everybody. His entire team, Tiki.
That was excellent. Well done. Good strategy for week one.
I thought the speech was beautiful.
Find the most angry person, go with them. The people with something to prove.
We all were laughing. He's in our league, right? We're like, what are you doing? It was like, Patty. And every single Chief, we're like, okay, well, we know he's definitely going to lose 1 week when he has no.
Yeah, that's right.
But it was a great strategy that regardless, he won $300. So, Alex, one more time. Bravo. Great job, sir.
Don't spend it all in one place, Alex.
Yeah. All right. The other thing we want to break down, too, is there's top scorers. There's the top winner. Congratulations, Alex, on your $300. I'm a little jealous. It is what it is. But we have perfect lineups.
Perfect lineup.
So Sleeper will put it and say, here's the max points possible with your roster. If you pick them all the right way, this is what your max points would be.
Oh, all right.
We had 5 sick Degen Knights that went in there and killed it with.
I mean,
now here's the crazy thing is
Knights are taking this seriously. Like, how much thought and preparation you're putting into these lineups? Maybe that's my problem. Maybe that's why me and Rondé lost. We're over here like analyzing film and breaking down how this team, if it was real, would win, as opposed to worrying about how they scored the most points. You know, I mean, and whoever has Jonathan Taylor, I don't care what league you're in. I just did that game, the Colts and the Texans. And we talked to Frank Reich before the game, and they're concerned about him getting 370 touches. And said, hey, he's not going to touch the ball 30 times. You know what? When you suck the way that they sucked in that game, guess who's touching the ball 30 times?
Exactly.
And he was a beast. I love that kid, too. He's humble as could be. You give him 15 carries, and he'd be happy. But if you gave him 15 carries, he'd probably rush for 10 yards a carry. He's going to get his 120 every week. No doubt about it. He's like,
and that's why you saw people spending like crazy.
He's the modern version of Emmitt Smith. It doesn't feel like it because it didn't feel like he had that many yards. You looked up at the end of the game, it was like, dude, he had 160? How did that happen? So whoever got JT, whatever he was worth, it was worth it.
So, you know what? We're talking running backs, and I love how we don't have to plan anything, Tiki. The give and take into the segues is just fantastic. Thank you for making this easy. Thanks.
Put you up on a pedestal, writing letters to relatives, embellishing.
Hold on, I'm recording this as you say it. All right, thanks. All right, so JT, we talked about that.
Hamilton references every now and then.
Nailed it. All right, so JT, we talked about him.
Yep.
Obviously, he's in your top 3. Who would be your other 2 top running backs that are just good, that you think are just going to kill it all season long in fantasy?
I knew that Saquon was going to bounce back only because I had conversations with the Giants front office and the head coach, and he said this line is going to be better than people think it is. They're young and they're hungry, and some of them have a lot to prove, but they're also talented. In previous years, you could have said the same thing, but they didn't have the talent that they have this year. And Saquon, back to Alex, who won the 300, ducats, he's angry, right? He's not like pissed off, but he's angry that he hasn't lived.
He's got that chip.
Yeah. He's got that. Like, maybe he had a chip when he was a rookie, but I doubt it. I think he was just good. You know what I mean? But
it was that youth. It was that youth. He came out. He was hungry, you know. But
right. But now
you see the anger in his eyes. Yeah, you see it.
Now he's pissed. You see it how he's running. Man, he's angry. Like he's running through people. I mean, hell, when we were out there at training, we did a thing at training camp. As I said, they got into a fight on the field, and we couldn't see it because we were so far away. But my son was there. AJ was there, and he was like, I was like, "What happened over there?" He said Saquon's over there bowling over the safeties. And like, I mean, it's basically two-hand touch, but he's over there putting his shoulder in the safeties, right? And I was like, all right, ready. That's a good sign. So I like Saquon. Obviously, Jonathan Taylor. It's interesting you talked about. I saw in one of those teams. I really like Elijah Mitchell because of the fact that Trey Lance is going to struggle, and a lot. We know that as a 6th-round pick, he came into the league with a chip on his shoulder. And their head coach is going to find ways to manufacture him into the game plan. The challenge is Debo is going to take some of his touches, but I love the way Elijah Mitchell runs.
That's not a bad top 3. Do you think a lot of people have taken Derrick Henry out of that top 3? I feel like he's been there the last couple of years.
But if you're playing the Titans, let's just be real about this. Does Ryan Tannehill scare you?
No, has he ever?
Exactly. And there's not a ton around him either. I know they drafted some players. What's the kid's name? Burks. They drafted Burks, but he's a rookie. I don't trust rookie wide receivers quite yet. And so you're gearing up to stop Derrick Henry. Now, a lot of teams haven't been able to do that, but I've always said this, and this goes back to my days as a runner. It's a function of carries until you just start not being as good anymore. You know what I mean? And I was able to get better at the end of my career because I didn't carry the ball early. Like I was just average. I was just a 3rd down back. I returned some punts here and there. And then about halfway through my career, I started to get a ton of carries a year. And at the end, I was like, dude, I'm shot. So Derrick Henry's had a lot of carries, especially over the last couple of years. And so I worry about that with him. So I love him, but I'm just not sold that he's going to be a 1,700-yard rusher anymore, like he's been for the last couple of years. Last year, obviously because he missed time.
And I asked because I did get Henry, right? I mean, I didn't want to spend crazy on the running back spot,
which is why
he's going to give it to you.
Yeah,
but I definitely agree with the fact that no one ever fears Ryan Tannehill, right? Yeah. I mean, you didn't when he was with the Dolphins. You didn't here. You know what he is. He's a game manager. If you give him a line, he has enough time to throw for 3 yards, you're good, and give Henry the ball. Yeah. Problem is, they don't have anything for him to throw to really. So it's going to really like, I regretted buying it, but I'm like, you know what? I'll still get the points I need.
Yeah. And it's challenging now because everything is split, right? Like we got Kareem Hunt, but wait, who do we get? We had one Hunt or Chubb, right? One of those guys is always we have Chubb, but Kareem Hunt had all the touches, right? And so every team is doing that now. Even so I'm doing a Jacksonville game, the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Colts this weekend. And, James Robinson's getting all the touches. He had 12 carries or 11 carries last weekend and 66 yards and a touchdown. But they're trying to feed Travis Etienne, right? If it wasn't for Trevor Lawrence being rusty, Travis Etienne's probably the star of that game because he missed a touchdown throw, meaning Trevor Lawrence missed it. He sailed it by 5 or 6 yards. They throw him out of the backfield. He's in every critical situation in the goal line. So you really want James Robinson, but Travis Etienne is going to eat when it matters. So it's really hard with running backs because nobody wants to have a marquee guy anymore. The previous stud in this position is Christian McCaffrey. He had 33 yards this past weekend. Right? Yeah. So it's just like it's almost impossible unless you have a guy like Jonathan Taylor who is going to get fed. Right. And there's only a couple of those every year.
And that's the thing. You're seeing a lot more people in leagues get that handcuff, right? They're getting the 2 running backs and going for it and hoping it works out. But then it's also that downfall, right? You got the one that's doing everything, the one does nothing. So it's like, I'd never want to do it.
Yeah.
Last running back question for you. I don't think any update has come out yet about Najee Harris.
No, I know.
Right? So, speculation is going to be out a couple of weeks.
Oh, he's definitely going to be out.
Yeah. So do we trust picking up his backup as the waiver?
I don't even know who the backup is, but he's not going to be as good. And so, and he's not going to get fed the same way. Like the reason that Najee, and I think we put a bid on him, Najee, because we know that with a quarterback, let's call it. I mean, he is what he is. Like he's not great, but with a quarterback, why am I forgetting his name?
Trubisky?
No, the Steelers quarterback is Mitch Trubisky. Yeah, you said it.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm wrong. I was looking it up. I was like, let me check.
I don't know why I was thinking of Pickens too. But whoever the quarterback is, they're not gonna blow you away. And so, I mean,
see, but here's my question then, Tiki, because Trubisky is also one of those guys, right? Trying to bring his career back and has the opportunity to do it. But I've always seen Trubisky also as a game manager kind of guy. Yeah. He's gonna, right? So it's like Jalen Warren, that's the kid's name, the running back that they have behind Najee, right? That they're expecting to be huge. So it's like you almost feel like, wait, it's maybe worth it, right? If you know that Mitch has the only way his game works is if he's handing that ball off to somebody 30, 40 times and then a little play action here and there.
But if you know that, then they know that, right? So
yes, but that's the game, right? You know, I don't know. You play. I'm too slow.
It all starts off up front though with all these teams, right? Teams are going to get good when they have good run games. You know, Jonathan Taylor's got, other than his left tackle Matt Pryor, that front line is elite. You know, and they're going to be good all the way across, other than the left tackle, and they got a kid. Bernard Raymond, who is a rookie, who's going to end up starting at left tackle, and he's going to end up being pretty good as well. So if you have a great offensive line, your running back's going. That's really the only way to have an elite running back season as it pertains to fantasy, because it's consistent. Otherwise, it's going to be really inconsistent.
Everybody in the chat, all the advice you just heard from Tiki on who to pick up and not pick up, don't listen to it. That's my advice. I asked the questions. I'm going to pick them up.
Everybody's co-signing the Mitch Trubisky trash thing.
Yeah. Everybody. Trubisky. Mitch is trash. Trubisky. All right. You know what? Let's jump into the...
But he's got to prove it. I mean, he really has to prove it.
Yeah.
He really has to prove it.
Yeah, I don't...
Like, nobody's going to trust that it's just going to happen.
Right. No one's writing him off yet.
No, they're not writing him off.
They're like, all right, here's your shot, but no one's counting on it.
Oh, he's going to be the
savior. Not happening.
No.
How about you want to check out the nail biter of the week, Tiki?
Yeah, let's see it.
Breaking down all of them, looking at all the different games this week. This one in the entire 21 divisions we have.
Yeah.
This one 103.33 to 103.03.
Dude, what did it come down to? Oh,
so you had
Henry. So the Giants then. The Giants. Because Derrick Henry got you 8. I mean, Derrick Henry's never getting you 8. He's always getting you at least 12 to 15.
Right. So he definitely got him. Let's see. I'm going to pause it real quick here. So he got him he lost on the Derek Carr side, which, Kyler Murray, which, hey, it was a double XP weekend on Call of Duty. So Kyler at least giving you 21 points is huge. You got Jonathan Taylor. There you go. You already said it. JT's giving you your points.
Yeah.
Henry, no love. Jones, Fournette gave him the 15. Yeah, Fournette looked good this weekend.
He did. He looked fast, man.
Yeah.
He hit the hole like with aggression.
And it's crazy because all the talk in the offseason about how heavy he got, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, and by the way, I gotta say this because I keep seeing this on social media. People are like crushing him for that chip block he had on Parsons. Like Micah Parsons has never hit someone on the blind side. Like he's never cleaned up a running back or a tight end or whoever's been getting hold up. That hit looked nasty. That hit did not hurt. That is exactly what a running back is supposed to do to help his tackle. Because every time after that, you know what Micah Parsons was doing? He was looking to see if his running back was coming to kick his ass. Period. Right? And he didn't get another sack after that. So
he did his job.
He's closed. That's his job, dude. It's a legal hit. Suck it up.
Yeah, and he has that extra weight for a reason. Oh, take that. Smacking people around. All right, then he had the matchup Brown and Johnson, which was close there.
Yeah.
They both, Cooper and Mooney. That was horrible.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, you're right. It was the running game there. I mean, but even look, he had Woods. Yeah, that was such a close Both defenses, 5.
I'm telling you, it was Derrick Henry. If Derrick Henry just does what he's supposed to do.
His normal. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the nail biter. Congratulations, Moon Man 5251 for squeaking away a little baby win against DG Goat.
Yeah,
I always laugh when you have names.
That's the one at the end of the year you come back and if you just miss out, that's the one where you're pissed.
For sure.
Let you down. Playing the Giants at home.
0.3. Oh, it was really bad. It was really bad. The other one I brought up was, let's see. Oh, you know what we should jump into? Everything has its highs. But of course, that also means we have to highlight the lows. I mean, it wouldn't be a normal Degen show if you're not calling out those that may have shit me a little bit, all right? So let's start off with, do you even GM? All right. So this, based on the results from the weekend, Sleeper gives us a nice little list of what they call the worst GMs in each division. Brutal that they took the time to build it out, but I love it. So this is where all we're going to do is we're going to take those that scored 70% less than they should have.
Oh.
Lowest one was E. Greco at 62%.
Oh.
Silvershine 64, Dennis 66, and then you had Sir Coda, Cyberman. Oh, Cyberman, I put him in there twice. Cyberman, it was that bad. We put him in there twice, bro.
It's all good. You can rebound. You've been put on notice. He's over here chatting. It's all good. It's all good.
This is why we have this show, guys. All right. This is where you get the motivational Hamilton speech from Tiki, and then me to rub it in your face that you're at a 68%. Do you even GM, bro? Come on, Coda. I love you, bro. What you're doing with our Only Gems fantasy league, you're doing amazing. Yeah. Take that same skill and tie it into the KFFL. You might find a really good marriage there, bro.
Maybe you spend a little bit too much time over there, though, right? You guys are killing his bandwidth.
Hey, don't encourage him. We need the money off that win, Tiki. Come on.
I want to excel, man. Live your best life. Live it to the fullest, right? Don't sleep. Sleep is overrated. Sleep when you're dead, when you're retired, right? All that, right?
Right. So worry about your KFFL league, and then don't sleep and take care of our Only Gems league. That's it.
That's right.
You got this. Game
mode.
You
got this, Sir Coda. You got it.
How about the lowest score? You know what? Hold on. I think the only way to do this is to really, really give it its own segment. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to the Toilet Bowl Awards. Got to do it, Tiki. I mean, we got to do it. So I was nice and said, we'll just take the bottom 3. All right. I'm not going to go with the bottom 5. You know, we don't have to call out that many people. All right. Yeah. We highlight the top guy, Alex with his 300, and the guys that had no chance at $300.
Hold on. Let me get my potpourri spray so I can spray it.
Do it. Flush, honey, flush. Here we go. Dennis Reynolds, I'm sorry we had to bring you up again, bro, but you had across all 21 leagues, 5987. Team TV reruns. I don't know what reruns you're watching, bro, but at 69.2, I am not tuning into that. All right. And Team Dollar Money, 71.83 points.
It's always next week. Stop eating so much meat. Drink more water. Have some vegetables.
Listen, Tiki and I will be the ones to send you the potpourri. All right. We'll help you get past this week. At least it's week 1. You get it out of your system now.
That's right.
Tiki, I mean, 5987 is rough.
That is.
69 is rough.
You have the team. You have his team.
I actually can pull that up right now. Do you want to break those down? Let's do that.
I just want to break it down just for a minute. Because there might be like some like somebody got hurt or something like early.
Yeah.
I just want to see.
Yeah. Tiki's such a nice guy.
It could be a coaching issue, like a game day coaching issue.
You know
not
what?
necessarily
So
a GM issue.
let's pick one of them. You want to? Do we take the very bottom of the spinning cycle toilet bowl?
Let's hit TV reruns.
TV reruns. All right. So let me get the document out here. TV reruns. You in the chat? I hope you're there, bro.
Got a little MacGyver.
Oh, you know,
A-Team he's got going on.
Yeah, you know what? It is
Golden Girls.
It is 8:42. He probably on that Golden Girls right now. He probably not in the chat. I understand. You lose. It's like, I'm going back. Okay. All right. Let's find his team real quick. Sir Candy, I know you're in the chat. If you'll send that right over here. I'm in the chat here with the guys.
So Candy said Stafford as Mize as a starter, and Wentz was the reason. You know what? You're right, Sir Candy. I that's a good explanation. Because I think Stafford fooled everybody. So this is the problem with like coaches lying about injuries, because I felt that Stafford was going to be all right. I really did. And it was clear on Thursday night he was far from ready. Tom over here talking about Aaron Rodgers, Aaron, thinking he could just show up and play with anybody. I don't need to practice with these young bucks. I got Christian Watkins. He's a sleeper. He's going to be a stud till he drops it wide open.
How do people believe in Stafford? I don't mean in a bad way. I mean, it's still Stafford. Like, yeah, okay. Why are we acting like because he won a Super Bowl? I get it.
He was good before. He was on a crap team, man. And he comes out there and he does exactly what you wanted him to do, which was be aggressive, push the ball downfield. Now, he had a ton of weapons. He didn't have most of them on Thursday because Odell is gone, obviously. Right. Keon Woods and Cooper Kupp, he eats like he always eats. But it gets to that point where you're like, all right, you go do what you do. But if nobody else is doing it, we're going to still beat you.
My thing is his injuries, though. His injuries, right? Isn't he just coming off another injury, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
It's been that way his whole career. So
it's like the man that is a dope weapon, but is made of glass. Like he literally, like the other team is Bruce Willis and he's Samuel L. Jackson in every game. Okay. Yeah. He is unbreakable. He is literally made of glass. So when I heard he was injured again before the start of the season and everything coming into it, Super Bowl or not, he's still going to give you Stafford ways.
Well, he's not available. When he's not available, that's what happens. When someone's not consistently available, I used to call it bad sells. Guys that are always hurt, they're just bad sells guys. They can't help it, right? They do the wrong thing and they end up getting hurt.
It's true. So real quick, before we get close to the end of the show here, I want to let all the Knights know, starting next week, we want to expand the show a bit, all right? So you're going to have the DEGEN Huddle right at 8 o'clock. All right, you're stuck with me. How you doing? And then we're going to have a co-host and we're going to break it down for everybody. But we also want to make sure that all of you Knights have a safe place to go and talk your as much as you want. Open panel. So we're bringing to you guys, you know what? Check it out. We got our boy Doughboy. We got Jungle Goat. They are doing all the analytics. They're going to break it down, guys. They want to go team by team. They want to look at what the best pickups for waiver wires are. But more importantly, they want you to feel like you can sit back in your chair, come on stream and vent or celebrate.
Hey, so that's going to happen a lot.
It's going to be great. So right after the DEGEN Huddle, it's basically your post DEGEN Huddle game show. I don't know. We're still working with it, Tiki.
It's all right. Let it evolve, man. Let it evolve.
I can picture it now, though. The goal is we have our two hosts, and then it becomes like the biggest Zoom meeting ever, right? You've got all these Knights in here just ripping. Pour yourself a drink. Relax. Comes to them next week. So, Tiki, before we end the show, you want to drop maybe some waiver wire discussion? What do we think it might be worth a pickup or not? I know it's tough, right? Especially because you're in the league in the KFFL.
It's hard to know who's available everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So let's see who's trending up right now. You know who a good one is, and I didn't realize this. Only saw this because I was watching this game. Curtis Samuel is going to get used a lot for Washington because they use him as a jet sweep guy as well as Carson Wentz trusting him because he runs those easy routes, right? He's not pushing downfield running 18-yard digs and comebacks and go routes and that stuff. He's running those crossers and pitches and things of that nature. Plus, he's going to get handed the ball. He could be an interesting one, Curtis Samuel. And I'm looking at my league. I think they might be all the same as far as the trending goes. Curtis Samuel is trending way up. Who else is an interesting one? If people didn't get Jalen Waddle down in Miami, it felt like Tua sucked. Jalen Waddle's gonna get fed, man. Because
he's a beast. Okay.
Last year, like people talked it up to just being like they don't have a book on him. But,
you know what? The good thing on that, though, is I didn't see a lot of the KFFL leagues. Again, true Degens. You didn't see him sitting really on many of the leagues. Like, he was scooped up. Obviously, he wasn't going for that, 10, 15.
I don't know if he got picked up in my league. Maybe he did, but I can't remember.
But I have a problem, Tiki. I can never draft a Dolphin. I can never do it. I just cannot. For the life of me, it's like I just can never draft a Dolphin.
Yeah. Here's one to be wary of. Yeah. I know he scored 2 touchdowns last weekend against the Giants. Dontrell Hilliard. Right? He scored 2 touchdowns. He made a couple of big plays, but you have to go look at how it happened. So the Giants played cover 1, man coverage. One of them was one hole. So it was a safety sitting in the middle, just policing the middle, and it was man coverage everywhere else, and then a deep safety. And the Giants don't substitute. And so as a result, Austin Calitro was on Dontrell Hilliard, and he had zero chance
of keeping
zero chance to cover him. Easy touchdown for Ryan Tannehill. His second touchdown was the exact same defense. It was cover 1, and Tay Crowder was sitting in the middle of the field. He had zero clue that Dontrell Hilliard was running down the left side. Zero. He turned and was like, "Oh shit." And started running after him. But it was so late.
But if people don't study the film, they'll look at the 2 touchdowns, right?
So you're gonna look at him and say, "Dude, he scored 2 touchdowns. They're feeding Dontrell Hilliard." It's fool's gold. That is iron pyrite. Do not go for Dontrell. I know I'm saying that because I see him trending. That's not going to happen every week. Trust me, because most teams are going to substitute in those situations. That's going to be a safety or a cornerback on Dontrell Hilliard coming out of the backfield, not a linebacker who cannot run like the Giants tried to cover him with.
All right. So before we end this, here we go. I'm gonna look at some of the questions in the chat.
Wait, I got to tell you this, and it's only because it was in my game. This might be the biggest steal if he didn't get taken. O.J. Howard.
Oh, listen, hold on a second. That's literally what I was about to ask you because I put it in. I'm not telling them how much I put on him, but I put my waiver claim in.
O.J. Howard was a stud as a rookie.
Yep.
He caught 6 touchdown passes. His second year, he's caught 5. He was, again, a stud, right? His third year was Jameis Winston's 33 touchdown, 30 interception year.
Yep.
He was erratic. He was trying to get paid. Jameis Winston thought that he was going to make $35 million after that season, but he threw 30 interceptions and 33 touchdowns. So it was all downfield, right? All pushing the ball downfield to his wide receivers, Godwin and Evans. And O.J. Howard got 1 touchdown catch. Then Bruce Arians is like, see you, dude. Someone else better is available. That someone else was Tom Brady. But you know who came with Tom Brady?
Gronkowski.
And as a result, O.J. Howard went invisible. He had 2 touchdown pass catches and then 1 his 5th year.
And he's only what, 25, 26?
26 years old.
Yeah.
So he started his career as a baller. And then he got Jameis, and then he got Gronked. And then he got released by the Buffalo Bills. And the Texans picked him up. And Davis Mills, who is an extremely accurate quarterback, right? 66.8% completion percentage. And in the red zone, he was the number 1, hear me correctly, #1 red zone quarterback in the. This is Davis Mills I'm talking about. #1 red zone quarterback in the NFL last year. You know who his #1 red zone target is going to be this year? OJ Howard. Go get OJ Howard.
Everybody listen to everything Tiki just said until the very end where he said, go get OJ Howard. If you're in my league, leave it alone. Leave it alone. Don't try to outbid me. Leave it alone. All right. Here's one of the questions in the chat, Tiki. They said, actually, before the question, P-Mix is still going, Tiki. Reserve a spot for Tiki and Rondé next week in the after show. Oh, my gosh. Caden, the Colts fan, should I trade Cup for Gabe Davis and D Swift?
No, you can't. Cup is just he's gonna get his touches, right? They manufacture a way to get touches. Now here's an interesting thing about the game as it has evolved, the NFL, especially offenses, really just offenses, not defenses, but as offenses have evolved, there used to be like a mentality that you had to have skill in order for plays to work, right? There are certain coaches, including Sean McVay, who can scheme their way to success, right? They can almost guarantee that a play is going to get positive yardage and possibly become a big play, right? And you see the really good ones, they see it setting them up, right? You see these, jet sweep, run, jet sweep, run, jet sweep, run, jet sweep, bootleg, wide open tight end for a 30-yard gain. The Los Angeles Rams do that every week for Cooper Kupp. So first of all, he's talented as hell. Like that touchdown that he caught in the back of the end zone where they're like, did he keep his feet in? Like that, his body control and awareness, like with football IQ is elite. So he can do it physically. And then they are going to scheme him every single week. So there's no way. You got to keep Kupp. You got to.
And I was looking, even with that trade, I mean, will the other two even, come close to what Kupp can do on his own on a good week? I mean,
I doubt it.
Exactly. So you might be trading off a couple points.
I mean, Dan Campbell's my dude. I love that guy. His energy is awesome. He came on our radio show, like national radio show. We're live. He's like, Teak, it was one guy I could trust when I was playing. It was motherfucking Tiki Barber. I'm like,
stop, it's local radio, man. What's wrong? It's national radio.
We can't keep that.
That's so funny.
I just don't think they're good enough.
Oh, of course, Mr. Yankees Morning Brew had to come give us the update. Appreciate that. Yeah, baby. All right. Whew.
Yay, Judge.
Good.
Judge hit 56. He's getting the Barry Bonds treatment these days, and he's still.
Oh man, still. Yep. Obviously, it's going to change in the playoffs. That's going to be. Then he's not going to see much.
This is if Stanton comes back, he will. If Rizzo gets his back right, actually, he had that epidural that caused him to have a headache issue.
Yeah,
so
migraines
if
now.
Rizzo and Stanton come back, then Judge will be fine. He'll keep racing. But if it's just him and a bunch of maybes, Yankees are going to be in trouble.
Yeah. Luckily, we brought some of the youth up. All right, I'm sorry, guys. I know they're like, here we go with the Yankees talk. Leave us alone. We do what we want. You want to take one more question, Tiki, before we call it night?
Let's do it.
What about A.J. Brown for D Swift? Ooh. That's a tough one.
Brown. I mean, Tom said it right, Caden. If you're hurting for a running back, you have to do it. If you don't have a running back, the question is, who are your other running backs?
I just realized he's the one that asked the question before, right? So he must really need a running back.
Yeah. Well, he's really high on DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, exactly. Both questions had Swift.
I loved him coming out of Georgia. I thought he was going to be special, like a two-way player.
I mean,
I just don't know if I trust Goff enough.
Caden, who's your other running backs right now?
Yeah.
Tell me who you got.
Just tell us
that'll help make a decision on that.
Yeah, because if you're desperate for a running back,
then I said take the A.J. Brown trade.
But
because of course AJ
he's going to get 15 touches at least.
Right.
A weekend at least.
Yeah.
And A.J. Brown what, maybe 4, 5. So unless he has an explosive day, bad. My runner was Elijah Mitchell. Well, who was one?
Yeah.
Who was one? Who was your RB1? That's the question.
I'm trying to see if he posted it earlier.
Yeah, well, he posted his RB2.
Yeah.
But I don't know who his RB1 is.
We got Jason 161 River Ave. What's up, bro? Good to see you. Tiki represent, baby. You know the New York clan comes out. Come on now. Salute.
I love that. What is the time?
Man.
What is the timeline? We'll see. But I still need to know one. Because Mitchell's done, right?
Right. I mean,
at least likely he's done for at least. They're going to put him on short-term IR. He's not going to be back until.
Yeah, if you don't have another, if you're saying that you only had 2 running backs and that's number 2 is Mitchell and he's done, you got no choice, bro.
Yeah,
like you take the Swift play. You know Swift's going to give you points. And I'll go on a limb and say I'm pretty sure he's going to give you more points than A.J. Brown is because you're still relying on Tannehill, right? So just saying.
What's up, River Ave?
Fellow marathoner here, Tiki.
Praying I get
Elijah Mitchell.
Oh yeah, you got to do it, bro. Yeah, you got it, Caden. You got to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in the.
And there's the rest. Yeah. Dude, if you love him, why are we having this conversation? Go do it. All right? Go do it.
Yeah, it's
man.
all good.
Tiki.
Hey, River Ave, man. You run in New York City?
Oh, snap.
See if
161 River Ave. He tears it up with the Yankees podcast, does it after Yankees games.
Does he?
He's done a lot of work with our Hector, Project Nerd HQ, with our Yankees Morning Brew. 161 River Ave, man. He's not this year, but I'm coaching.
You got me obsessed with you, bro. You got me obsessed. You got Kamara too?
You also have Kamara. Now it's confusing.
I know.
So wait, do you have any wide receivers, bro? Like, is A.J. Brown your only receiver? Because now it's the whole other spectrum. What are you doing?
Yeah. River Ave, man, you over here acting like you an amateur. You running 225. 225. Are you kidding? You beat me like 2 hours. Right.
That's it, Jason. Thanks for stopping by 161 River Ave. You can leave now.
I know.
Okay, if you're saying you need a running back 2, so Kamara's your 1. Who was the other one he said he had?
He also had
or is Kamara his 1?
Rashad Penny.
He has Cup, A.J. Brown, DJ Moore as his receivers. Oh. Bro, all right. I'm gonna give you my last take on it, Caden. If you can flex somebody in your league that's down to do your Swift trade that you really want, because let's be real, the love factor you have right there is really what's making this a big point for you. Yeah. But if you can flex it into getting a receiver that you're able to maybe turn in, giving them a receiver that they really want, but you got to keep Cup. Like, there's no way. So you have to work out something that A.J. Brown and one of your other running backs is thrown in for whoever's offering you that Swift trade, bro. But you have to either try to hit a wide receiver on waivers because you hurting.
Yeah, go target like, I don't know, Cordarrelle Patterson or somebody.
Something.
Because he's hybrid. He's a perfect flex.
Something.
And I think most of these leagues will give him to you as a wide receiver or a running back. Because he does both. He's like what's his name? Debo. He's like Debo. Keep
try to pawn off more.
Yeah, that's probably a good call.
All right, Caden, I expect you to tune in next week.
You already got massive questions. That's rough.
Caden, when you come back next week, we need to know what moves you made and what you
did, man.
Man, Tiki, so glad we were finally able to pull this off. Football season is here. Thank you for being on episode 1. Do me a favor. Next week, when you beat P-Mix, just show up in the chat and let him know how you're feeling, all right?
Trash, man. Fucking trash.
Appreciate everybody in the chat. Guys, we're signing off right now, but you know what happens next? Now we jump into a little bit of pickle juice with our boy Zook. We've got the president, Brooks Wiley of the Major League Pickleball Association. He is on there, the president himself. Guys, I'm going to hit the stop button, right? And then we're going to just jump right over into pickle juice. Tiki, we out. Appreciate everybody. Peace.
See y'all. I'm on the Jacksonville call. Jacksonville Colts this weekend if you're in the area or you get it locally.
You're only a couple hours away, Tiki. Texting you. Peace.